Hey guys, Tanya Clarke-Marinelli here, creator of investinyourselfcourse.com for women and empoweringkidsprogram.com for kids. And thanks for joining this live weekly webinar training all about creating a money mindset so that you guys can live the life that you deserve, okay, that you want to live. And so I am seeing some viewers pop on. And so, hello, Gabby. If you guys, when you get on, just put your name in, where you're from, so I have an idea of who is all on the webinar today. We have a ton of amazing content today. I can't wait to share it with you. And yeah, in just a second, in just probably about a minute, I'm just gonna hop right into the training. And what I love to do every webinar is give away a book that I absolutely love. So hi, Jennifer. Hi, Carissa from Winnipeg. Gotta love Winnipeg. And today I'm actually set up right in front of my window because I can hear the birds and the sun is like shining. Gabby's from Mexico. Woohoo! Hey, Gabby. And so literally it's like a cold day in Mexico today. Okay. But for us, it's like 25 degrees. It's like beautiful here. So I'm like, why would I go in my office? I have no window. I'm going to set up on the couch here. And yes, my face is a little bit glossy from the sunshine, but that's okay. So I just want to welcome everybody here. And as we begin, I'm sure more viewers will pop on. I got a ton of you guys registered today, so this is really exciting. So what I like to do is I love to give away a book every webinar that we have every week. And the book that I was planning on giving away, I could not find because I use it all the time, and it's The War of Art. The other night I was on a call and I think I quoted something from the book, and I don't know, my couch must have swallowed it, but then I was looking up, and I've given this book away a few times. It's The Science of Getting Rich. I highly recommend everybody, especially if you're an entrepreneur, to read this book, okay? But I couldn't find The War of Art today. So, and just before this webinar, I had a radio show. I have a radio show weekly, Thursday morning, just before this webinar. So Thursday is like the day to thrive because it is from like, it's a super training day, and plus for me too, right? I'm always learning as I'm doing this. Hi, Lily, how are you? And so today we're talking about divorce and sugar, okay? And I'm gonna share with you guys a tool that I used, and I used it and used it. And it really helped me through the most challenging time of my divorce, my separation. And it is this book by Louise Hay. It is I Can Do It. And it comes with a CD, right? So it's also a CD book. So I had this in my car, and I was constantly listening to it because it was, if you listened in on the radio show today, it was like the darkest time of my life. Like it definitely taught me a lot. So I'm going to gift that to y'all. But first, I want you to stick around toward the end of the webinar because I haven't decided on the question that I'm going to ask. I'm probably going to do like a little bit of a quiz through the training, okay? Ask you some questions, and whoever can answer it is going to get this book. So what this book is it's like it says, I can do it. I can do it. I got this, right? One of the things that I take out and I share with everyone when we're talking about confidence and when we're talking about fear and resistance and we're talking about being visible and breaking through those visibility blocks, we're definitely talking about confidence. Okay, self-worth and confidence. And something that I grabbed from this book a few years ago, and I use it frequently in my courses, is a little story that she shared. And it basically said, we were all born loving ourselves. We were all born loving ourselves. When the first time a baby sees their reflection in a mirror, right? They are like just blown away. They think it's the most amazing thing. They think their bodies are the most amazing things, right? Their hands, they look at how they move. They're so intricate, right? Like our bodies are so freaking amazing. We have no idea. We do not know the entirety of what our bodies do for us, but our bodies carry us through life, right? We are born loving who we are. We even love, this is a gross, but we even love our own feces, right? We play with it, think it's fantastic. When you're potty training, it's always like separation anxiety, like that piece of me, I gotta flush down the toilet, you know, at least for me and my kids. But the point is that we all were born loving ourselves exactly the way we were, exactly the way we are. Okay, we don't judge ourselves. We don't judge the baby next to us. The point is that while we're growing up, there's expectations placed upon us that sometimes are very challenging to follow through. There's, you know, and it's conditioned out of us. So we grow up judging ourselves, you know, admiring other people, and admiring other people is, I think, is a pretty negative thing, because when you admire somebody, it's like, you're better than me. You're better than me. But I truly believe that we are all one. We're all the same. Nobody is better than the other. I am not better than that person. That person is not better than me. I can learn a lot from that person. That person can learn a lot from me, right? But we are all the same. We're all one. And so, yes, acknowledging and being impressed and wanting to be closer to people to learn more about them, completely natural. I totally encourage it. However, when we admire somebody, it's kind of thinking less of ourselves, right? Less of that self-love. Here's the thing. We were all born loving ourselves, and we can get back to loving ourselves like that, okay? Like that. It takes getting to know a little bit of information and remembering a little bit of information, because we were all born with this information. But once you get that information, all good, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So this is your money mindset shift, and part of your money mindset shift is self-love and confidence and breaking past those visibility blocks, guys. This is huge. Gabby says, could you see anything? Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Can somebody type into the box if you guys can hear and see me okay? I would love to get some feedback on that. Gabby, you might have to maybe just click out and then go back in. Click on the link or refresh your screen. That should work. But for anyone else out there, just give me a heads up if it's working okay. Now, okay, Carissa has both audio and visual. So yeah, if you could just refresh that, or if I misunderstood you, yeah, just type it back in there and I'll see if I can rephrase it for me. Thanks. Okay, so here we go, guys. Today we're going to be talking, I'm going to pull up the screensaver. No, the PowerPoint. Okay. So here I am. And Gabby, I don't know, tell me where from Mexico you are. Because here I am, and this is in Puerto Vallarta. Love Puerto Vallarta. Definitely will be going back there. And this is, you know, today we're going to be talking about fear and resistance and how it's holding you back. And how you're going to figure out, the way you're going to figure out how it's holding you back is by understanding it a little bit more. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into today. So these are 2 out of 3 of my children, because my daughter opted out of coming on vacation with us this year, which is totally fine. She's 20, I get it. And but this is one of my favorite pictures, and it just really speaks to what money is a tool for. I love to travel with my kids, and I'll get into that in a minute. So today you guys are going to find out what fear and resistance is and how it plays a part in your life. Okay? What you do when you're faced with fear, we're going to get really clear on that, and why fear should be your guide rather than something to avoid. Okay, so my program, Invest in Yourself and Empowering Kids program, has been featured on local morning news, radio shows, and ta-da! We are opening an Empowering Kids Alternative Learning Center, and this is opening September 2017. It was originally scheduled to open 2016, but there have been some amazing opportunities presented, and it's going to take us a little bit longer to get it started than we thought, which is totally fine by me. I'm celebrating it because it's better than I ever envisioned. Register your kids today for the Empowering Kids Summer Day Camp. Okay, guys, you guys can go there, Empowering Kids program. These are some amazing children who are in the nature camp over the spring break. I can't even explain to you. I had somebody approach me this morning, and her daughter's a teacher, and she's like, can we come and just view the camp? It's been running for 4 years. I've had many people come and view the camp. And yes, connect with me if you guys want to come and see what it's all about. If you work in education and you want to implement the Empowering Kids program in something that you do, connect with me. Come and see it firsthand, okay? You won't be able to understand it unless you're there and you see it. You see these children. Also, the creator of the Invest in Yourself online program. Shift your money mindset to create the freedom that you guys deserve today. And this program is amazing. I love it. I love surrounding myself with like women who are just on their path to making things happen, and they want to skyrocket it. So they hire a mentor to get them there, even like in less than half the time, maybe a quarter of the time, just determined to make it happen. So I'm totally celebrating this course. I also have a Thursday morning blog talk radio show, and this guy over here, Dan King, this guy right here, was on the show this morning. We talked about divorce and sugar, right? What I mentioned at the beginning. And it was just like, wow, like mind-blowing. Things come up in these conversations that I have with Dan that, you know, I couldn't even plan for. So I really encourage you guys to go ahead. If you guys came from the event link, the link to the radio show is in there. Put it on while you're driving, listen to it. It'll completely and utterly inspire you. So I do some signature talks, and the first one that I do and love and I've done many times is overcoming your negative self-talk, okay? Secrets every successful woman needs to know. Woman, man, child, you name it. Go on over to my website, investinyourselfcourse.com, the homepage, scroll down to the bottom where I'm interviewed on a webinar like this, but I'll share with you this specific talk, okay? Another one that I do is the most important ingredient for your child's success, emotional intelligence, and this I implement in my Empowering Kids program, but I also teach it with my corporate training that I do. So important, you guys, so important. You know, you work between 8 and 10 hours a day, Monday to Friday. You like that is the majority of your life. You know, there's numbers and percentages out there that I could write down and put in here for you. But the fact is that if you guys are miserable in your 9-to-5 job or 7-to-5 job, whatever it is for you, then that's going to play a huge part on your mindset, your self-worth, your worthiness, right? Your confidence level, and your health, big time, your health, okay? So, and it's frozen. I'm not sure what slide's next. Oh, there we go. So a little bit more about me is hold on here. I like to travel with my kiddies. World schooling's always been a dream of mine, you know, traveling and bringing my business with me, bringing my kids with me. And we went on this while we were in Puerto Vallarta. We went to the next state over, and we went for an entire day, and we went through the tropical forest, and our instructor, Martha, love her. She was brilliant, and my kids were engaged the entire time. One of my kids ate a termite for the simple fact that now he knows if he's ever stranded in a tropical forest or wherever, that termites hold like a ton of protein. So he can survive if he finds a termite nest. And they learned, and myself, a ton of other information as well. But they learned things that they just couldn't learn in a textbook, sitting in a classroom, okay? So that's what really resonates with me, and that's what I love. So today we're gonna be talking about what is fear holding you back from, okay, guys? And I really encourage each and every one of you guys to show up today. 90% of success is showing up. If you guys have been on these webinars, I say that over and over and over again. I've had it said to me over and over and over again, and that's why I keep showing up for whatever I gotta show up for. And I'm gonna just pass down that information, that very powerful little sentence. 90% of success is showing up. You never know what you're gonna see. You never know what you're gonna hear. You never know how it's gonna impact you, your business, your life, you name it. So what is fear holding you back from? Is it holding you back from having a voice? Being seen, visibility, right? Are you afraid of failing? Leaving a relationship that no longer serves you? Going for that promotion? Leaving the corporate job to follow your calling, right? Is fear holding you back from being successful? Because let's face it, there's a whole whack of other fears that come under being successful. One is more responsibility. Can I handle being successful? Can I handle all that do I want all that responsibility? If I want to live a life that is free, do I want all that responsibility? So I'm just going to switch back over, come and look at you guys, and see the notes that you guys hear. I love the pic of you guys. Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, Gabby can't see. Oh, so sorry. Yes, you can see it later. That's really too bad that you can't see it, but yes, you'll be able to see it later. It's going to be recording. If you registered, you'll be able to, you'll be sent the replay. Okay. And you know what? Private message me on Facebook and I'll make sure that you get it if you can't get on. Yeah. So what is fear holding you back from? Put it in the chat box. I want to hear from you guys specifically so I can like tailor this training to you guys, everybody here on the webinar, because chances are everybody here on the webinar is experiencing a lot of the same things that other people who are a little bit afraid to speak up are. So by you speaking up, you're going to help a lot of other people. So I'm just going to give you guys a minute to go ahead and... Which Jennifer are you? I know a couple Jennifers. Are you the one that gave me the Indian head massage? And if so, I'm going to share a story about that. Belly Fit Jen. Okay. Jen, okay, so Jen is amazing. I met her through a mutual business that we're involved in. And it turns out Jen does everything from reflexology, hand flexology. Is that the same reflex split in hand? Indian head massages, belly fit. If you guys have never heard of belly fit, let me share a little bit with you. It's basically between yoga and maybe some belly dancing, but it's all focused on what I've been introduced to, the lotus. And like she said, use your imagination. So it's basically just coming back into your feminine. And I've been to yoga maybe 2 or 3 times. I was really masculine in my workouts. I did like CrossFit, I did CrossFit for a long time. I even competed. Like I was doing a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of masculine work. And then, so I've done yoga once or twice. And I go to this class and it is freaking hilarious for me anyway. And the back of my legs are burning. They are burning. They hurt so bad. So I'm definitely coming back because clearly my legs could use a little work. Anyways, if you guys are in Winnipeg and you want to check something out that is unique, my friend and I could not stop laughing for the rest of the night. We were just so in such a high vibration. Okay, Carissa, I think one of my fears since childhood is fear of success. It's a big one. I need to reframe. Yes. So fear of success is like one of the largest fears out there, and this is why. There's a quote out there, and I can't remember who it was from, but I just heard it the other day, and it basically says that we are not afraid of what we can't do, we're afraid of what we can do, right? And that basically speaks to what I said. How much more responsibility are you going to have when you're successful, right? You're going to have a lot more. But what I teach in my program is that once you do reach a certain level of success, those successful people leverage. They don't control and micromanage every single thing. They don't. They overlook it, but they leverage and when you get to a point, you'll totally understand that. Jennifer, as you know, I'm making changes. I'm terrified to shut down my full-time day job to do reflex and massage and fitness full-time. Why am I scared to make that change? Okay. Because you may experience a fear. You tell me, why are you afraid? I could tell you, why are you afraid to make that change? And if you guys listen to this morning's show, we really went into it deep. And it was, anytime you do something that you've never done, you're scared out of your mind. Money, might not make the money, right? You're afraid that you might not make the money because you've never done this before, right? So hang on to that, Jennifer. So I'm just going to write that down. So fear of success. Anybody else want to share so I can tailor it? Otherwise, I may just direct it there. Yes, very true. I agree that for me, it all revolves around the concept of responsibility and overcoming my negative relationship to it. Boom. So fear of success, fear of not making enough money, and, well, fear of making changes. Okay, let's go with that. So I'm going to go back to the slideshow, and then you guys, I'll come back and check the chat box in just a minute. Okay, guys? So let's speak to these challenges that you ladies brought up and continue with the training. It always takes me a minute because it's like 8 buttons I have to press to get the screen share. Okay. Again, having a voice. Now, let me just speak to this a little bit as well. I do corporate training. I was in there doing a little bit of corporate training last week, or no, at the beginning of the week. And I'm talking to an executive leader, and she's, you know, something that she voiced was that she is afraid to speak up. So having a voice. So fear of having a voice and being visible and being seen and speaking up is directly related to fear of judgment, what others are going to think of you. Okay? So here's the thing. I'm going to start it out like this. There's your comfort zone, right? And when you step outside of your comfort zone, literally, that's where the magic happens. Okay? So in your comfort zone, you stay safe. You're just getting by. A lot of people describe it as being average, right? You're just getting by. You're just paying the bills. But you go step out of that and you experience excitement. You experience fear, tell you what, right? You experience confidence and fulfillment. I'll touch on that a little bit deeper. So basically what you guys got to do is, yeah, take the leap, right? In your comfort zone, that's where you're comfortable. That's why it's called your comfort zone. And when you step outside of your comfort zone into things that you have that you've never experienced before, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know the outcome. You don't know if you're going to make enough money. You just don't know because you're stepping into that unknown, right? However, that unknown also holds what you want, right? What you want. So there's all these quotes, and there are these quotes for a reason. There are these quotes for a reason. Life begins at your comfort zone. Basically, that vitality, that excitement, that happy but scary feeling absolutely begins at the end of your comfort zone, okay? So advice from everybody out there and me, you gotta step out of your comfort zone. Okay, you can only grow if you're willing to feel awkward, uncomfortable when you try something new. And let me just see. I'm going to share with you guys a poem that I shared at, I think I put it on a video and I even posted it for you guys, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to go through it, dissect it with you guys today. And you know what the cool thing is? I'm going to pull it up on my phone because I closed everything. So, you know what's funny is that I'm sitting here like you guys are sitting in my living room right now, and I'm just like, yeah, hold on a minute. I'm just going to get my phone out. Mindset. There it is. Okay, let's dissect this little poem for you guys. Portia Nelson. I've heard Wayne Dyer recite this poem numerous times. Now take your current situation and apply it to this poem, okay? These are her 5 chapters, her autobiography in 5 short chapters. Now, chapter 1, even if you've heard it on the video or read it, listen, apply it to your specific experience. Chapter 1, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost and I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes me forever to find a way out. So you're helpless. It's like, oh, poor me. I can't do anything about it. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So the first thing I hear when it says it's not my fault is that person lacks personal responsibility. Okay. Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place, but it's still not my fault. And it still takes a while to get out. So you run into the exact same problem, okay? If we're talking about being in the same place over and over and over again, okay? This Albert Einstein's favorite definition of, like, famous definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. If you want to experience happiness and vitality and energy and enthusiasm when it comes to your work, definitely you got to do something else, right? You got to do something else. You got to make that leap, make that jump. Basically, I'm seeing a picture of like that faith-based jump, right? You know that it's there, but you still choose to do the same thing. And yet lack responsibility, lack in taking responsibility, because it's not your fault that the hole's there, right? Okay, so chapter 3, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it. I still fall in. Now it's habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. I know it's my fault. Taking responsibility. So I get out immediately, because now you've learned how to get out. Chapter 4, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk, and I walk around it. Now, when I read it, I'm like, yeah, boom, problem solved. They totally reached where they needed to go. Now they're going to experience success. But I'm like, oh, crap, there's one more chapter. Chapter 5, I walk down another street. I was like, there you go. That is so cool. So what that says to me, and you share, how does that speak to you in your situation and what you intuitively, the very first thing that you think, the very first thing that comes to mind, put down if you're willing to share. What is the very first thing that comes to your mind when it comes to what you need to do in order to live the life that you want to live? Suspend disbelief, therefore put fear to the side. Brian Tracy, if you could do one thing, what would you do? If you could not fail, if you knew you could not fail, what would you do? Right? That's your chapter 5. That is your chapter 5. Jennifer. Oh my God, that's me. But man, you are too feisty and you know too much, Jennifer. That is the thing. That is the thing. You know too much. Let me share something with you guys. I do a processy in my practice. This process is, it's like 5 dimensions. Okay. So I take you through a visualization and you close your eyes and you get kind of in that alpha state. And you're really relaxed, so you can really tap into the subconscious. You can really feel what it is that I'm walking you through the visualization. And door number 1 is a life of dissatisfaction. Or is that door number 5? One of the doors is a life of dissatisfaction, unhappiness, poverty, you name it, everything, every low emotion out there. And the next door I walk you through is that, but a little bit better. The next door, that, yet a little bit better. And then the next door is like, it's getting better, but there's still those times where you're just so low and so on and so forth. And then the final door is a life of pure bliss. It is a life of pure bliss. You're living your dream life. You are achieving all of those wonderful, career success goals that you have. You are the mother you've always wanted to be. You're living in your beautiful dream house. You're giving back in a way that really, really serves you, right? And then you're asked this question, which door, before we move on to each door, it's like, do you want to continue to live here or do you want to move on to the next door? And I've had people say, no, I'm not ready to move on to the next door. I am good here. And that's okay. But the question you got to ask yourself is, are you ready? Right? Are you ready? Do you want it more than the fear is holding back? Like, do you want it more than, do you want it more? I'm losing half of that conversation, half of that sentence. Hold on one second. Jennifer, I know too much, but I can't get the heck out of my own way. Arrgh. Yeah, I get it. That's fear and resistance, man. Okay, so fear and resistance. Let's go right into it. Fear and resistance, okay. You have your ego. And a lot of people maybe know ego as being egotistical, okay, full of themselves, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, but ego in the sense that I'm referring it to as is the ego wants to keep you small. The ego's purpose is to keep you in that comfort zone, to keep you from growing and experiencing success. That is the ego's job. So now that you know what the ego's job is, whenever you have that little voice in your head of fear saying, oh, no, no, stay here, you know, you don't want to be seen. What if they say something about you? What if they blah, 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 blah? What if? All that fear talking, that is your ego. Your job is to get comfortable with kicking it to the curb and then going ahead and acting on it despite of the fear, okay? Resistance and fear plays together. Resistance is basically the things that come up, the excuses that come up. Yeah, but, right? Carissa says something here. I heard that poem for the first time in a mindfulness course I just finished, and it is so appropriate and relatable. All about being in the driver's seat of my own life, boom, boom, and accepting that the roads I choose to take are fine for me. Absolutely. Here's the thing. No matter the choices that you make, you're never wrong, because you're always where you're supposed to be, and you're always learning what you need to learn. If you find yourself constantly falling in that hole over and over again, this is what I say to myself. Okay, I am here again because there clearly is something that I still need to learn. I still need to learn something from this situation. So if you're in a bad relationship or in a job that you are so unhappy at, but you continue to make the same choice over and over and over again, rather than getting pissed off at yourself, ask yourself, okay, I'm here again. Clearly, there's still something I need to learn from this situation. Ask yourself, what do I need to learn? What do I need to learn? You guys got to start asking yourselves the questions. Open your mind up to God, divinity, universe, whatever resonates with you, and to download the answer. All right. So many times we make the decision, I can't afford it. You know, I have no time. You already made the decision. So your mind closes up to finding the answer. So you guys have to keep asking your question. Instead of, I can't afford it. How can I afford it? How can I afford this? God, help me. How can I afford this? How can I afford this? Keep asking. You're going to get the answer. Okay. Something is going to come to you. And how can I get more time? You know, not long ago, a month ago, I was asked to join Toastmasters, and it was calling to me because it scared the crap out of me. So I was like, all right, clearly that's something I need to do. And because then you create growth, right? And I was like, okay, well, that's 6:59 in the morning. How the hell am I going to do that? I have 2 little ones at home. I'm a single parent. I live by myself. Instead of going, and then I caught myself, I'm like, I've already made the decision that it's not going to work for me. Rather, if it's something that I want to do, I'm going to ask, how can I do this? How can I add for 2 weeks, I asked, how can I do this? How can I do this? And then I'm like, oh my God, the answer was right in front of me. Hey, Sierra, my daughter's 20. Hey, Sierra, you want whatever it's worth to me to get to Toastmasters. You want to make this, I'll pay your gas, whatever. Take the kids to school for me on Thursday morning. She's like, all right. I'm just like, the answer was like right there. And if that didn't work out, something else would have, because I had the vibration following it up, right? The law of attraction, what you put out is what you get back. So always ask yourself the question. You are the driver of your own life. So let me ask you this, Jennifer, thank you so much for being vulnerable and showing up today. And because you're the one being vulnerable and showing up, I'm going to use you when I talk, okay? Jennifer, ask yourself this. If somebody can make the decision that there is no time and they can't afford it, or whatever the case is, can they make the decision that it is going to work if they decide to leave their full-time job, their current comfortable job, to venture out, right? To go on that adventure and create an income with all these other wonderful passions? Just think about that for a minute, and then I want you to throw something in the chat box if you're comfortable with it. Now I'm going to hop on back over to the training because there are a few more things that I want to share with you guys. And I love you all, and I'm super proud of each and every one of you guys for showing up today. Even if you're showing up on the recording, I'm super proud of you. So here's the thing. We get into habits of thought. I can't change. I can't do this. I failed in the past. Why the hell do I think it's going to work this time? What's different this time? It won't work. If you have a pattern of thought and you continue to tell yourself these stories and make these decisions that it's not going to work and that you can't change, right? You're going to stay exactly where you are. So here's my invitation to you. On the other side of fear lives your greatest life, okay? My invitation to you is freaking run toward it. Use fear as your guide. Nothing ever great came from comfort zones. That is such a cool quote. It's not mine. I heard it from somewhere. But seriously, you guys got to be guided by your fear. And you know the difference between the good fear and the bad fear. Something that you shouldn't do, like drink a freaking 2 bottles of wine one night before, I won't even elaborate. But you know the difference between, good fears and bad fears. If it's something that you want so freaking badly, but you're too scared to go out and get it, that is the fear that you need to run toward. Okay? Radically honest, man. What everybody sees, right? What everybody sees and what's underneath is not always the same. Is not always the same. But here's the thing. You are what you think and believe you are. So if you think and believe that you can do it and you have faith, quote unquote faith, that's what's going to happen. But if you think, even on a subconscious level, if you think that it's not going to work, if you believe that it is not going to work because your own conscious mind cannot see how it's going to work, here's the thing, guys. We don't know everything, and you don't know what you don't know. But you do have to make the decision, right? So you're subconsciously projecting that. People are going to see right through that. So if you step out on your own and you're like, oh my God, this is never going to work. This is never going to work. Subconsciously, that's what people are picking up on. Okay. And if you have like a socially based business where you got to sell people something, or if you got to promote your business or an online business and you're selling your services, it is number one priority for you to get deep down to your belief system and transform that belief system so that you can project confidence. People want confidence, right? People are going to buy from confidence. And I'm speaking directly to the people who want to create a business in this, right? So, or anything. So you guys got to get really honest with what you think and believe, and then transform those thoughts, guys. Reprogram them. The definition of success by Earl Nightingale, doing what it is. Doing what you want to do because you want to do it, period. So what is it that you guys want to do? I'm going to go through this flow chart right away because I only have about 15 minutes left with you guys. So here's a flow chart. We're talking about those beliefs, getting down to those subconscious beliefs that are limiting you, right? So here it is. Your beliefs about yourself. Say you don't feel good enough. Who am I to think that I can create a successful business out of this? I'm not good enough. There's so many other people doing it. There are so many people out there doing it. What makes me think that I can do this? Whatever the case is. Your beliefs are directly related to your thoughts, okay? What you think directly affects your feelings, what you feel, what you vibrate, right? And then your feelings directly are related to the actions or inactions, and that is what gets you results. So let's take this on a negative spin. If you believe that you can't change and you can't do it, your thoughts are going to support that. You're going to think thoughts all day, every day about not being able to do it, not being good enough. And then you're going to feel feelings like that. You're going to vibrate on a low level. And what you're vibrating, what you're feeling, is what you attract back into your life. And therefore, it's going to affect your inaction. You're not going to take action. Therefore, you're not going to get results, period. Your belief system. If you believe that you can and will have it and do it, this is going to be successful, and it's going to be successful now. You are going to inspire thoughts to support that. Thoughts such as, all the information that I require is coming to me, I am amazing. I am so good at what I do. I love what I do. I love what I do. I love the time that I get to have with my children. I love the time that I get to have with blah, 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 blah. You name it. You're just going to create whatever thoughts make you feel good. That's going to affect your feelings, right? You're going to feel amazing. And then when you feel amazing, you feel confident to take action. And guess what? That is where the results come from. Okay? The results come from only if you take action. Okay? So how do you take action? You need to set goals, put a date to it, tell people, hold yourself accountable, period. You need to hold yourself accountable. Okay, guys? Earl Nightingale, my man, Earl Nightingale, people with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Hence my course. Find out where you are, get really deep, honest, even if it hurts to get honest. You need to get honest, because if you don't know where you are, you don't know how to get to where you want to be. So you get radically honest. So you find out where you are, find out where you want to be, get comfortable vocalizing with what it is that you want. That's what I want you guys to do right now. If you can, I know because it's a vulnerable subject, put in the chat box, what do you guys really want? What do you really, really want? Okay? So find out where you are, where you want to be, and how to get there. How to get there are the goals, guys. How to get there are the goals. If you don't know how to get there, then you ask people. You get people to help you. You find people who are already where you want to be, and you model from them. You model from them. Originally, this webinar series was called, modeling success. And then I was like, you know what though? Modeling success is like just a subtopic to creating a money mindset shift, right? Because I view money as a tool to experience things that create energy and vitality and happiness in my life. End result, successful, happy, okay? Money's just part of it. So I'm just going to check the chat box here. I know I'm walking toward it. I need to get it to run. Okay, I get it. I know I can do this intellectually, but the fear of not being successful is crippling. Totally. So when a client comes up to me and says, yeah, but man, this is so freaking scary. This is too scary. Too scary. I always ask them this question. Yeah, but in a year from now, how will you feel not taking that action? Right? Like, will you be okay with that? I want to be financially free. Absolutely. We all want to be financially free, right? Financially free, because money is a tool. What do you want more than financially free? What is financially free going to give you? What is the feeling that being financially free, what is that going to give you? I'll just wait a minute. You tell me. I love you guys. Congrats for showing up. So the feeling that financially free is going to give you is happiness. I am telling you right now, if you want $1 million, your dream job, to live in Hawaii, anything that you want is because you want to experience the feeling of happiness and bliss, right? That is the end result feeling. That is the end result feeling. So I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions, okay? And then I'm going to share with you who wins this book. And I'm also going to share with you my program. So one of the biggest fears out there is the fear of other people's opinions, okay? That's the biggest fear. And the way to face this is just to put it in perspective. Everybody, if we're all one, we're all the same. We are all the same. Carissa, I want to know and really feel like the work I do is making a difference and helps me be healthier in mind, body, and spirit. I want to have enough money to live and not feel the burden of debt. Awesome. Awesome. That is awesome. You're making me think now because it's like I want to go into a whole new training. Quick answer. Well, are you doing what it is that you feel called to do? Because if you are honoring your calling, then you definitely will be making a difference, okay? Here's the thing. We make a difference every single day. Part of owning your confidence, part of owning yourself, part of self-love, list 5 people that you make it, whose lives you make a difference in just by being you and nothing more. Just by being you and nothing more. Okay? Jennifer, because I know you personally and I've attended your class, you make a difference just by following your calling of teaching this class because you're inspiring the people in that class just by being you. Period. Okay? Okay, so that's an idea for another webinar. I will share with you guys how to really tap into what you guys are meant to do, okay? So Carissa, please stay tuned because I will create a webinar for that. It's like easy peasy. Just to continue on with your question though, I want to have enough money to live and feel the burden of debt. Okay, so I totally lost track of what I was sharing with you guys, but I'm going to go on and then I'll come back, okay? So yeah, you guys, like the biggest fear is what other people are going to think of you, and you got to put it in perspective. Like you guys may think other people are better, smarter, prettier, you know, they're more talented, whatever the case is, but the fact is that they're all thinking the same thing about you, okay? And here's the thing. We are all creatures of habit. We are creatures of habit. And that is due to our own rituals, okay? Rituals are freaking important. And we all have rituals. The question to ask yourself is, what are your rituals and are they rituals for success? So what do you do the first thing in the morning? Right? What do you do the very first thing when you wake up in the morning? Do you press the snooze button and get mad that it's already morning and I'm angry because I have to get out of this bed and blah, 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 right? That's your morning ritual. That is your morning ritual. Instead, successful people get up very early. They hop out of bed, take action immediately, hop out of bed, start with a journal, and start to create the momentum. You journal before bed, you journal when you wake up in the morning, because when you go to bed is what you're thinking about and what you're going to immediately think about the very first thing you open your eyes the next morning. Okay? You guys need to create rituals for success because your brain, like your mind, is in constant habit of what it's been thinking for the last 20 or 30 years. You know what I mean? Like you guys got to create new thought patterns for success. Okay? Think thoughts like, I'm awesome, I can do this, I'm beautiful, people love me. Look at, I am hilarious. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about some of you guys on the webinar. Okay, those are the things you need to start telling yourself. And then ask yourself, if you're not where you want to be, the answer may be in those rituals that you guys have daily, right? I have so many rituals I want to share with you guys. I should extend these webinars to 2 hours. Okay, Lily, I have found what I want to do. I just need the confidence to do it. Okay, so here, step number 1, Lily. Vocalize what it is that you want to do. Who are you vocalizing with? Get comfortable telling people about it. Get comfortable with it yourself. Okay. The confidence to do it. I see you on those videos, man. That is the number one way to get past those visibility blocks, getting people to getting in the public's eye. Okay. If you're selling a service or a product and it is the best out there, but nobody knows about it, what good are you doing? What good is it doing, right? You got to get out there and you got to own it. You need to own it, but you got to own you first, right? I was on the radio show this morning and Dan said something that just clicked. I hope I wrote it down. And I was saying something like, no expectations. Those relationships that last, when they get together, they don't have any expectations on each other. They're just love each other. And a lot of people, when they have expectations on another person, it's because it'll be better when, it'll be better when, it'll be better when, right? And we've evolved, we grew up in a society that places expectations on us. So, and what Dan had said really clicked with me, and it was that when we're placing expectations on another person, it's because it's in a reflection, right? Like we're placing expectation of ourselves. We're not following through with what we expect from ourselves, right? So when we judge another person, it's because we're judging ourselves. So step number 1 is self-love, loving yourself for who you are, the way you are, but for real, not just surface. That whole underneath the water iceberg thing, that's where your self-love needs to be. Okay, so tapping into those beliefs that, hey, I got this. I love myself enough to make this happen. Carissa, for my part, I have made a choice to do a credit counseling program to put my finances back on track. But on Monday, my car was rear-ended and now is a write-off. I am now in a strange situation of having a $5,000 bill for a car that I can no longer use, but I still owe it. I lost the car for no reason. Ay. Okay. So just to reflect back to what we were talking about this morning in the radio show again, is that sometimes your deepest, darkest, most challenging experiences are the ones that we require to learn from. You know what I mean? So what can you take from that situation? What positives can you pull out of that situation? What can you pull out of that situation? Or if you can't pull anything specifically out of that situation, how is that going to drive you to create financial freedom? How can we use it as fuel, right? With only having 2 minutes left, how can we use that as fuel? I love you guys. I love you guys all. I would love to give you a specific answer to each and every question. And I'm totally celebrating you guys for showing up, because you don't know what you don't know. And I'm positive that you guys took something out of this training that is going to serve you. Okay. So again, what are the 3 things that I talked about today? So if you guys can tell me the 3 things that I talked about today, I'm going to give you this. Now, before I check those answers and confirm them for you and do a little bit of a review, I'm going to keep you guys over for a couple minutes. I'm hopping back over onto my slideshow because I want to show you my program. Oops, I'm supposed to hit. Okay. Okay, here. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do, okay? What are those people doing that are where you want to be? Model from them. Write down their characteristics, okay? And decision. I decide that this is what I'm going to do. And I decide that it is going to work. Okay. I was listening to this program the other day, and it said specifically when an elder in their family gets sick and they're forced to take this elder on and pay the bills and whatever they make it happen. They make it happen. Tony Robbins always says, you need to turn your shoulds into musts. So take that career venture and turn it from a should and a want into a must. It must happen. It has to happen. That's the point you got to get to in order to achieve success. Yeah, you can make it happen easily and quickly, but it's hard work. You know what I mean? It's decision making. No more wishy-washy. It's decision making. So my Invest in Yourself course is, and this is the thing, in my course, I have people sign up and they are basically, I hold your hand and I tell you exactly how to do it and support you in doing it. Okay. That is basically what this course is. And it, on top of that, it provides you with a ton of information and useful processes. You tap into the subconscious and you make things change. You make things happen. Okay. So this Invest in Yourself core online program, Shift Your Money Mindset to Create the Freedom That You Deserve Today, is designed to find out where you are in life, where you want to be, and how to get there, exactly how to get there. It includes 8 amazing modules. 1, where you're at, okay? We dive deep into where you really are at, because consciously you might not be aware of where you really are at. Module 2, mastering habits, okay? Rituals, that's where we go into it. Module 3, fear, ego, and resistance, huh? Module 4, universal laws, okay? Because you need to understand these universal or spiritual laws in order to manifest what it is that you want in your life, business, career, you name it. Module 5, radical honesty, and that is tapping into subconscious limiting beliefs, getting radically honest. Module 6, feminine and masculine energy. We all need a balance of both. Module 8, time management, key for successful careers. And how to register, go to investinyourselfcourse.com/apply. We got to make sure that we're a good fit together when we work together, okay? But more than that, if you have been thinking about taking this course, it doesn't cost you anything to hop over there, schedule a call, talk to me directly, get really vulnerable, and find out whether or not this course is for you. So I'm just going to put into the chat box here. investinyourselfcourse.com. Go there. So fear, okay, hold on here. I think I missed a few. Other than stopping at the crosswalk to let 2 girls cross the street safely. Oh, I may have missed something. For my part, I have made a choice to do okay, I read that one. Other than stopping at the crosswalk to let 2 girls cross the street safely, I am trying to figure out the life symbolism of this event, and also how it's brought up all of my thoughts and fears toward not having enough money. What we think about, we bring about, guys. So if we spend our days fearing and worrying about not having enough money, we're going to create more of those experiences, okay? That's why it's really important for us to become aware of what we're thinking and choose different thoughts and beliefs around money, okay? Specifically around money. That's what I do. I share people how you create a new powerful process to begin attracting new experiences with more money and great experiences, supporting experiences. Fear and resistance and how it is holding you back. 90% of success is showing up. Fear of being successful, fear of judgment, Fear of having a voice. Step out of comfort zone and start to, oh, that's amazing. Fear and resistance, yeah. Okay, I will give that to you, Carissa, because it was fear, ego, and resistance, but it was more about fear and resistance, and that's what I put on the thing. So yeah, Carissa, inbox me. Inbox me your information and like your full mailing address, and I'll mail this to your door today. So here is there's my email. Email me there and give me all of your information. I'm celebrating all of you guys. I can see how many of you guys were on the call or on the webinar. I am celebrating each and every one of you guys for showing up, listening, being here, and taking that, opening yourself up to following whatever it is that you guys want to manifest and experience in your lifetime. I'm celebrating each and every one of you guys. Like always, I love you guys all to pieces. Next week, I'm going to be having another webinar, same time, same place. And I haven't decided what it's going to be on, but the theme will always be money mindset shift. So anything that you guys learn here, it will support you in the reprogramming and the programming of your brain to experience abundance in your life. Okay. So I love you guys all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanya, for your inspiration. Thank you so much, Carissa. I really am honored that you guys showed up and you guys are taking responsibility for your life and to walk down another street. So with that, connect with me anytime on Facebook, connect with me. And I hope you guys enjoy the beautiful sun, the beautiful weather. This weekend is supposed to be amazing. Take care. I'll see you guys later.